6'4" Luke Dwyer and 6'7" swingman Houston Estelle, a transfer from Junction City. Also tonight, the Junior Blues travel to Lawrence to face Free State. Meanwhile, the renovated Dungeon at Topeka High School is the host site for tonight's Trojans versus T-Birds encounter. Hard to come up with a pregame angle on this one, right, Coach?
Sure. They've lost a lot of people, too, and played some young kids. And so, probably a game of no names tomorrow night. But I think there'll be a packed house. And, Craig Cox does a great job at Shawnee Heights. And I know his team will be prepared. We're looking forward to it.
Topeka High 7'5" center Daniel Gilchrist. I think you can pick him out. Figures to play a more prominent role in the Trojans' offense. Shawnee Heights graduated a total of 8 seniors from last year's 15 and 17. And beating
started with prep hoops. The 3-1 Emporia Spartans in town to play the winless Junior Blues, and we'll start the third quarter. Colin Holtis, Washburn Rural, pulls up, hits the jumper for the Junior Blues. How about Brett Wise? This guy's an all-stater with a great shot, as evidence right there. That gives the Spartans a 30-point lead. Now here's a nice bucket by Rural's Michael Kodich. But watch out for this Emporia team. They are so good. Joel Gertis with a little finger roll. Then you have Zell Pearson cranking in a three-pointer there for Pearson. And the Spartans get the steal. And watch Gertis. He'll scoop it up and take it to the can. Emporia runs away with it, 73-35. I'm telling you what, these guys could be Centennial League champs. And how about that? Rusty Bueno. You don't know much about him, Jim, but this guy's a legend. Back from Butler County Community College to watch his alma mater beat Washburn Rural. To the girls' game now.
Lost just 2 games. Shawnee Heights was responsible for one of those losses. Now, this is a new year, but the Scots, well, they have a good memory. And they're seeking revenge tonight against the T-Birds at Shawnee Heights. First quarter, Donnie Jones gives it up to Raphael Posey. He makes a move, spots it up for 2. Scots have the early lead. Scots again. This time it's Mark Anderson. He tries it from way out, 4-0 Highland Park. But here comes the T-Birds. Got to give a nod to Cedric Bryant, brother of one of our production guys. He drills it from three-point land, cuts the lead to 5. More first quarter action. The ball's loose. Heights Ryan Fine knocks it to Bryant. He's in for the easy 2. 12-7, they're down. Now it's Gary Woodland who gets the pass, makes the move, and he's in for the bucket. Heights win this one, 60-56. The Shawnee Heights Lady T-Birds can move their record.
The Hayden Wildcats are north of the river tonight, taking on the Seaman Vikings. And how about Crazy Viking Man? Those guys are all excited. Third quarter, Hayden's Jarrett Head busts a three-pointer, but the Wildcats are still down by 7. Here's nice use of the glass by Seaman Scott Blanton. Gives the Vikings a 5-point lead. Next trip down, it's Shane Boleski. Pulls the trigger, knocks down the tray. Seaman is hanging on. Then it's Adam Trich. 2 here for the Vikings, and Seaman wins it by 10, 59-49. In the girls' game, the Seaman Lady Vikings beat the Hayden girls 40-32.
Back to the boys. Manhattan visiting Topeka West in an I-70 League matchup. Third quarter, West trails by 2. Quincy Cozy comes away with the rebound, takes the length of the floor, stops, pops, and shoots. Gets the bucket and the foul. Chargers up 37-36. And here comes Manhattan. B.J. Congleton to Josh Barth for the easy 2. Indians up by 1. West Cozy, he's at it again, dribbling, moving, stopping, and shooting. He drills it. 39-38 West. This time, Lewis Alexander from downtown, and it's good. Chargers win by 1 point, 52-51. Luke Dwyer led West with 17 points.
You bet he did. Let's make our last stop at the Dungeon. Another I-70 game between Salina Central and Bill Bagshaw's Topeka High Trojans. First quarter, Central's Kevin Campion knocks down a 3. Watch Topeka's Ian Ramirez beating Tyrone Robinson, and the Trojans lead it by 9. Second quarter, the littlest guy on the court, Brandon McDonald, cans a three-pointer. The Trojans build a 12-point lead, and they go on to win it tonight, 57-50.
We start you off over at T West. The Chargers are home to our rival Topeka High. These are the faces that go with the voices on KMAJ radio, and let me tell you something, the Purple Palace was rocking tonight. We pick up action late in the game. High's Tyrone Robinson gets the stick back. Trojans up 4. We're tied at 61. West with a chance to win, but Josh Watson is off the back iron, and we go to overtime. In the first OT, I said first OT, Kevin Howard drains the 2 and gives the Trojans a 4-point lead. Later, High up 2. Chargers go to the big gun. Luke Dwyer, friendly roll. We're tied at 69, and we go to double overtime. West by 1 with just a few seconds left. Robinson gets the putback. High leads it by 1. Who's West go to? You betcha. Dwyer, no good, and Topeka High wins this in double overtime, 77-76. They go 3-0 against West this year. Season, and the ultimate behind-the-scenes people, our parents. Those are David Stauffer's parents. Blues taking on Highland Park. First possession of the game. Scott's Raphael Posey rings up the 3 ball. Other end, it's Colin Holthouse. Waiting, and knocking down the jumper from the left wing. Blues then have troubles with the ball, and here comes Carwin Johnson. Lush Scots by 5. They don't call him the running Scots for nothing. Anthony Merriweather, and that is fancy. Park wins tonight. We're just not sure what the final score, but Highland Park did get the win. Jason.
And the highlight reel coming. Carwin Johnson on the follow jam. Are you kidding me? Is that a high school kid? But not too much time to celebrate. Topeka High's Ian Ramirez is determined to take this one to the rack, and he does. And a pretty sizable victory for Topeka High, who follows up its victory over the Chargers. They win over Highland Park. The final was 64-2.
The Scots visiting Topeka High. Scots get things going with the defense. Raphael Posey, the steal and the lay-in. He scores a game-high 25 points. Other end, Terrence Carter crashing the boards, gets the putback in for 2. He scores a team-high 16. And look at that, he even loses his shoe in the process. And then the big fella, Dan Gilchrist, with a putback. He scores 13. The Trojans upset the Scots 64-56 is your final. Over to T1.
All the city teams finish up the regular season this Friday, some of which get to warm up for the season finale tonight. Starting on the boys' side with Topeka High and Highland Park. The scoreboard shut down for a little while. That made for a 15-minute delay. When things did get going, big Daniel Gilchrist lit it up. 13 points, 14 boards, and 7 blocks. The Scots taking matters outside. Anthony Merriweather buries the 3. The Trojans can also hit from long range. Kevin Howard drains the baseline jumper, and Topeka High wins it 64-56.